Okay, today, so we're at Narcissus Hut here, and we're going to walk along the track towards Echo Point, but then we're going to go up towards Byron Gap, which is pretty steep, but we just think it might be a really lovely climb up there, and we're just going to go to the Gap and back, and that's actually called the Cuvier Track, I think. So not a long walk, but it's quite steep, so we'll see how we go with that. And I'm just about to write a note just to let anyone that comes into the hut know, because obviously we've got all our stuff still sitting here. We're just going to take a day pack. I'm going to take the Garmin and the water headlamp just in case. Yeah, we're going to come back here tonight, but this should be a really nice little side trip up to Byron Gap. Okay, so I've come up the Byron Gap track, and it's basically saying that this track is not maintained, so it's a case of looking out for the markers, and I can see the next orange one over to the left over that way. Yep, so it's just a case of following the markers. Lance has gone back because after 8 days of 9-kilometre treks, he's feeling a little bit like he needs a rest day, so he's gone back to the Narcissus Hut, and I'm going to continue up here just until I maybe hit some snow. I'm not even sure if I'll make it right up to the actual gap. So mostly this track is marked pretty well. So it's a mixture of the yellow or orange triangles and these wonderful little pieces of tape. God love the people who put those there. Yeah, but very beautiful little forest. Climbing. I can feel my nose getting colder. So I'm not really willing to move on to the next marker until I leave that last marker until I can see the next one. And sometimes they're not particularly clear, but that's definitely a marker, and I can see a piece of orange tape that was probably once fluorescent pink. I can see it, so I'll move on to the next one. That's a bit of a sight, looking up that hill. Amazing trees. It's getting steeper, and these trees, they just cling to the side of this very steep hill. I can't see the marker, but I just passed that one there, so on that trunk. So I'm assuming the next one is up there, and I'm going to head up because it does look like a path there, so I'll go up there, see if I can see the one after. So this is tough going because it's very steep. So I'm using my poles. Oh, slipping. Might go to hands and knees, I think. Oh, shit. Alright. Can't see the next marker. So just going to stop here and have a look around a bit. I can see the last marker clearly down the bottom, so I'll just see what I can find here. It could be on a tree that fell over. Looking up the hill there. Trying to see either tape or orange. I'm going to go up to that next little bit just here, see if I can find it. So I just cannot find the next marker after I came up that really steep hill. I can still see the last marker. I'm just not willing to go too far. I've gone to the left to see if I could see it. Anything. Tape or triangle. But I just cannot. So I'm just going to go back across my track. I'm looking down at the last marker now, so I know I can see that. So I'm just going to go back left, to the right this time, and see if I can spot whether I took a wrong turn at the top of that hill. Very slippery. Thank goodness for poles. Okay, so I've come just to the right of where I came up. Just looking at it from a different perspective. Just cannot see a mark. So I'm just going to go this way, coming back to that big tree. So that one there, it's a nice clear big tree, and I'll go and look this way. Wow, I found it. It is right over there in the distance. You won't be able to see it. There is a tiny orange triangle. So I'm going to head that way. Fantastic. Right, it's a bit tricky. I can see the next arrow over there. And path going around here. Don't get the poles stuck. I've got a light pack on today. Oh, far out. Right. Not sure if this is... I see people have gone over that way. Right, poles off. Hands and knees. To the next marker. So I want to get to the snow line today, so I've just hit it a tiny little bit, but the sun's shining, so a lot of it's just melting. Oh. And I was hoping to get high enough to get some good views, but this is challenging because I'm ending up on my hands and knees at quite a number of places and very aware that I've got to climb back down again. And it's winter, keeping an eye on the time, so I'll do a time check shortly because whatever it takes me to get up here, I've got to get back down again. And it gets dark and Lance will start to worry if I'm not back by 3 o'clock. Okay, so I just put my rain pants on because I'm getting a lot of drips off the trees, and oh, just loving this track. It's challenging but fun and very, very beautiful. It really is. So my goal for today, just to see some snow. Can you believe I've been on the Overland Track in July and hardly seen any? Apparently it was a day behind us because the people who joined us last night, father and daughter, Andrew and Claire, they had amazing photos of falling through snow up at Pallium Gap, and they were one day behind us. So, but anyway, that's okay because I think it was easier. I know it was easier going without any snow, and yes, we were doing an 8-day trek. They were only doing a 4-day trek. So I'm sort of quite thankful for the weather that we've had. God love. I don't know who they are, whoever you are, thank you. Okay, so it is 10 to midday, and according to my Garmin, I haven't gone very far. So I'm a long way from getting to the pass. So the pass is between the two mountains. I'll just try and turn it so that it goes into view. So I'm going to head back because that's taken me 2 hours just to get here. So I'm clearly not going to get up to Byron Pass. I'll save it for another day. But it's very beautiful. You can just see the beautiful raindrops, a little bit sleety, falling through the trees. And I'm going to head back. I'm a little bit worried about finding the track back, but I've been checking as I pass them, and usually you can see them on the other side. So I'm going to head back down now. I just had my first fall down of the whole 9-day trip, which I'm pretty proud of. I only had one fall down, and it was just I stood on bloody stick over there. It was like a slippery slide. And luckily I've only got a tiny backpack on with extra warm clothes and water and stuff. Hurt my shoulder, but not too badly. But just shows you how easily these things can happen. And there's a beautiful orange marker in front of me, and I can see the next one after that. Whew. It's funny, I was just reflecting. A lot of my friends, particularly women, you know, that I work with and stuff like that, they often say, aren't you scared, you know, when you go on these trips or you're doing these solo adventures? And, you know, I don't do much. I'm just dabbling in, you know, I went and snow camped at Kosciuszko on my own, and they often say, aren't you scared? And I am. I'm always scared. So, I'm constantly risk assessing, constantly thinking about what could go wrong, and that way I hope that I cover all bases. Like today, for example, I was just, you know, when I left this morning, I was thinking, this is the first day I haven't had my tent on my back, and that makes me really nervous, because with my tent on my back, I know that no matter what happens, I can basically set up my shelter and, you know, hunker down and be safe for the night with my sleeping bag and my sleeping mat. So I actually feel really vulnerable today because I've just got the bare essentials. So yeah, I do feel fear, but I use it to just make sure that I've put in plenty of safeguards. So when I left the bottom of the track at the Echo Point track this morning, I actually marked that spot on my Garmin, so that if I couldn't find this track, because I tell you, on some sections it's a bit sketchy, they're hard to find, I would be able to at least do a straight line back to it, which might involve a fair bit of bush bashing, but at least I'd know how to get back down to that track. So yeah, always feel fear, always do, but I feel it, but I get out and I do stuff anyway, because the rewards are just so great. That feeling of that you can do it, and confidence, and that trust in your own decision making, that sort of thing. Yeah, I love it. Sadly, there is one thing that really does frighten me, and that is being attacked by fellow humans. So that's my biggest fear, is running into unsavoury characters, which is a sad thing to say, and I guess most people are good, but women around the world, we have that fear of being attacked. So I guess that's why I'm attracted to hiking in really inaccessible places that take a lot of sort of getting to, because it's less, I hope, more likely that you're going to run into good people who are just like-minded and wanting to get out in nature. Yeah, so it's pretty sad, but that's the reality. So that is my biggest fear. And sometimes all you get is a little piece of ribbon on the ground, because I was not sure where to go next, but that's my clue. And another piece just tied onto a tiny little root. Thank you, people. Very, very pretty. Okay, so just getting back through to the track. Whew. So that was the Cuvier Valley Track. It's not a well-defined track, and somebody scratched in no track. So that's so true. And so here I am on the main Overland Track again, Narcissus. I'm going back to the left, Echo Point huts to the right. Yeah, so heading now back to find Lance. And my feet are totally dry. These shoes are amazing. They're the Solomon Quest 4Ds. They've got a 4 on the side of them, not to be mixed up with the Solomon Quest Elements, which Lance has got. And he's been complaining of wet feet. But yeah, mine are totally dry. It's amazing. Well, that was a lovely little walk. I hate to think what I look like. It's been 8 days on the track. I know I stink. Wow, behind me there I just spotted this incredible, amazing, don't know whether you can see it. There's a mountain in the background. It just looks so incredible with all the snow on it. Yeah. And then behind me this way is, of course, Mount Olympus up there. But that looks amazing. Wow.